Hello Shady Grove, Pastor Todd here with our midweek announcement and devotional thought. Romans chapter 10 verses 14 and 15 says, "How then can they that call on the one they have not believed in, and how can they believe in the one in whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can they preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news." In this passage, Paul reminds us that God has given us marching orders as His followers, and you and I are to be messengers of the good news. We are runners sent out into the world with the good news that God is victorious, that Jesus saves, that He delivers us. In the ancient world, the primary means of communication, especially from the battlefield, were runners. There were messengers, and they would use these swift runners to bring back what was happening at the battlefield, the news from the front, and they would bring it back to the leaders of the cities. And these messengers would run with the news and the information so that those who were back in the city would know how to prepare and what the leaders needed to do for their next step. Do we need to flee? Do we need to prepare for an invasion? Do we need to fortify our defenses? Have we won the battle? Do we need to celebrate and give God the victory for the victory that He's given to us? And so Paul reminds us that we are messengers. We are runners from the battlefield, that we are to move with our feet to share the gift of the good news. And our orders are to deliver that message. How someone responds to it is not our responsibility. Our orders are to deliver and to share that good news. Paul's actually quoting Isaiah 52:7 here, where he says, "How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of him who bring good news." And we are reminded that when they celebrate, what they're celebrating is not the response to the good news, but that the news has been delivered. And so I just ask you to pray about people that you work with, people that you're in school with, people that you go to have family with, that you do community with. Who in your life needs to hear the good news? Who is it that God has called you to be the messenger, to share with them the peace, the hope, the victory, and the deliverance that Jesus Christ brings to us? Deliver that message and be the messenger that God has called us to be. A few things happening here in the life of the church just to make you aware of. We're doing a supply drive right now for the preschool. There are lists available for the items that they're going to need on the website, also in the e-news, or if you're in the worship center, you can pick a list up of what they need on the table in the foyer. Want to remind our rising sixth graders that we're having a Welcome to the Youth party on Sunday, August the 20th. That'll be right after the worship service, just to get them acclimated to the youth. And so all the rising sixth graders, those who will be 11 years old by August the 31st, we want you to be a part of that. Come hang out with Pastor Chris, myself, Pastor Doreen, as we talk about youth group and what you can expect with that. We're having a Welcome Home Sunday on September the 10th. We know this summer a lot of people have been doing vacations and travel, and we just wanted to do a time after the worship service that morning where we're just going to have a church fellowship, church cookout, just to kind of get back off into the fall season, welcome everybody back into our normal routine and fall pattern. And so we want you to encourage you to be a part of that. That's on September the 10th, right after the worship service. A few things that you can register for, and remember that our number to register or to volunteer for different things we have going on is 336-525-5870. You just change the word of what you text to register for whatever event, but a few things that you can send to that. Friday night, August the 18th, we are serving at the Northwest High School. We're running the concession stand for their first football game that night. If you want to be a part of that, you can text the word football to that number I just gave you, or you can see me about that. Tonight's the last night to register for that. We're having a membership class on August the 27th. If you want to learn more about being a member of the church, or just learn more about the church, the vision of the church, history of the church, no obligation to join. It's just an information time. That's going to be on August 27th at 4 o'clock. You can text the word member to that number. We're going to be starting our Awana program on September the 6th, and if you need to register your kid for Awana, you can text Awana to that number, or if you want to help volunteer and lead, we need a number of volunteers in different capacities. If you can help in any way, if you'll text Lead Awana to that same number, Pastor Doreen will contact you and get your information and find out exactly where you would be best served in that. But please, we need all the volunteers that we can get for that. As you're traveling this summer, finishing up those last vacations and things, don't forget that you can join us online for worship at 10:30 on Facebook or YouTube. Also, don't forget you can give online at shadygrove.net. Just want you to stay plugged in and connected as we go through the summer and finish up these last vacations. And so whether you're online or going to be in the room this Sunday, we look forward to having you, and just pray that God just falls on us and moves in a mighty way as we worship Him. Have a great week, church, and be blessed.